Once upon a time, there was a village, and there was an old man living in that village with his grandson. Their priceless possession was their horse. And one day, the horse ran away. All the villagers came over and they were like, I am so sorry that happened to you. That is the worst thing that could happen. And the grandson was crying, and the old man goes, you know what? It could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. You just never know. They looked at him and were like, how could this be a good thing? Your priceless possession, you just lost it. How could this be a good thing? And he's like, well, you just never know. So 2 weeks later, the horse came back with two other horses, and all the villagers came back and they're like, you're the luckiest man alive. This is incredible. This is the best news that could ever happen. And the old man looks at them and he's like, well, it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. You just never know. How could this be a bad thing? You just got 3 horses. This guy's crazy. They all left. So his grandson started training the 2 new horses. He ended up falling and breaking his leg while he was trying to train the new horses that came to them. And the villagers came over again. And there once again were saying, oh my God, we thought that you were so lucky, but now that your grandson broke his leg, this is the worst thing that could happen in the entire world. Like, we're so sorry. And the old man goes, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. And they're like, your grandson just broke a leg? How could this be a good thing? This guy, I can't. They left. You see, a week later, the war has started. And one day, the old man gets a knock on the door. And when he opens it, they were actually recruiting all the young men to go to the army and fight. And they asked the old man if he had any young men that were old enough to go to the army. And he said, yes, my grandson, but he has a broken leg. And because he had a broken leg, they couldn't take him to the war, to the army, to fight. When that happened, all the villagers came over and they were like, thank God he had a broken leg, because if it wasn't for his broken leg, he could potentially go to war and fight and die. You're so lucky. The moral of this entire story is that no matter what happens in life, there's always a different perspective. There could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. You just never know. For all those wonderful things that happen to us, sometimes it's the biggest curse. How many times you hear people winning lotteries and they become crazy addicts and they die very short time later because they just don't know how to handle that. So all the positive things could be sometimes the bad things, and all the negative things could become the most wonderful things that could ever happen to you. Because with all the bad things that happen to you today, truly at the end of the day, they're shaping us into a strong individual people who will become tomorrow. So just please always remember that life is just a perspective, and life is how you look at it. And don't ever think that just because something good happened to you, it's wonderful always, and just because something bad happened, it's always bad. It doesn't always mean that. It's just a perspective. So if you look at it that way, and if you look at when bad things happen to you and you use that analogy on that, nothing bad will ever happen to you, because you will know that no matter how bad things are, that there's a reason that it's happening to you. And you may not understand the reason why it's happening to you right now, but later in life, you'll say, my God, if it wasn't for that time when that thing happened to me, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that is my story time for today. I love you guys. Bye.